A better route. Chapter 89. In the realm of the slugs, a great fear was emerging through the land as a booming voice was heard, Yosh! What a glorious day! Lee, let your youth howl with mine at this excellent news. Lady Mito has the same great power that resides within us. Lee was ecstatic at hearing this and screamed, "Oh Gai-sensei, I never thought this day would come. I feared only we contained such powerful flames of youth. This is going to be amazing." Mito was oblivious to what was going. Guy had arrived a day earlier than expected with Lee to analyze Mito to see what new taijutsu style suited her best in order to finish her sage mode. However, when he came to a decision, he went ballistic and started shouting in joy. The good news that contradicted to Guy's actions was that Kiba had come along with him to come visit and brought Soku with him. As of now, she was currently cuddling with the trembling puppy. Suddenly Kiba asked her, "What in the hell is wrong with him?" "The last time I saw them like this was when Lee made Chunin." Mito looked at her boyfriend and shook her head. "You know as much as I do. For all I know it could be, hey now." "Haha, stop that." Kiba and Tsunade were chuckling as they watched Mito's face being devoured by being licked by her new, fluffy little buddy. While Tsunade was enjoying the sight to which made Mito so happy, she turned to ask Guy, "Okay, so what are you two so excited about, and can you both be calm about it when you tell us?" Guy did his best to calm himself down and keep himself under control as he explained, "The style that would be best for your daughter is none other than my personal style that I favor, the strong fist, also known as Gukken. The greatest style known to man. If you will allow us permission, it would be an honor for Lee and I to teach her." Mito got Soku to stop licking her long enough for her to process the new information she'd just been told, for she was both happy and scared of what the outcome could lead to. Learning the Gukken from its two greatest masters was an honor, yet she was going to be taught by the two craziest people she knew. "You guys do know that you'll have to stay here until I've learned it well enough so I can apply it to my sage mode, right?" Guy was still so excited that he was shaking from trying to control himself from any sudden outburst. "Lady Mito, I would never shy away from something as amazing of an opportunity as this. My youthful student and I will see to it that by the time you complete your sage training, you will be as much of a professional as Lee and myself, maybe even more." Lee cried, "Yes Mito, we'll help share our amazing power of youth with you." Mito still had one thing she had to ask about: how long is it going to take to learn this, because we set a deadline to try and enter sage mode within less than a month. Guy was so caught up in the moment that he had almost forgotten about how long they were hoping to finish her training. "Just only a month, huh? It'll take a lot of training, but with Lee and I teaching you it's very possible that you'll be far enough along to start sage mode." Mito actually thought that sounded very rational. A month of non-stop training with the two best Gukken users in the world that would at least have her use the style to a moderate degree. How could she refuse? Her reply was simply, "All right, I'm in." Kiba could see he wasn't going to be getting any alone time with his girlfriend anytime soon. "Guess this means you're gonna have to start training pretty soon, huh? Guess I won't be getting to see much of you for a while." Mito gave her boyfriend a sympathetic look. "Sorry Kiba-kun, looks like your appearance here was irrelevant." Kiba wasn't angry, but he was a little sad he had to leave so soon. "Don't worry about it. I brought Soku to come and see you, so least you'll have him to keep you company." Mito was startled at hearing this, "But you said he needs lots of love and affection, especially early on." "I don't want to be a bad owner." Tsunade walked over to pet the dog. "Oh, I can give him plenty of that while you're training. After all, this guy is just too damn cute, isn't he?" Mito gave her boyfriend a kiss goodbye, but not before gaining a sly smirk across her face and whispered into his ear, "I promise we'll get some alone time when we get back." Kiba was just shivering at what she said before brushing aside and replying, "Don't worry babe, I know that you've gotta do what you've gotta do. I'll see you when you come home. Love you." Mito was grateful at how understanding he was. "I love you too." Guy wanted to get started with training as soon as possible. Come Lady Mito, we must get your training started. Mito knew he was right, there was no time to waste. All right then Guy-sensei, let's do this. Kakashi was busy working with his taijutsu just as well as Mito, and he found Kakumiai was great teacher. Well, part of it might have been that Kakashi was using his Sharingan and he was his friend, but Kakumiai was still doing pretty freaking good job considering he was teaching a different species from his own kind. Right now they were currently busy sparring, using the style he was instructed with, while Conan was watching from afar. The snake style sounded just like anyone would expect to hear. It applied a lot of fast movements and flexibility, and it was meant to attack in a way where lots of quick strikes hit multiple vulnerable spots on your opponent's body. Kakashi noted it was almost like a more randomized version of the Hyuga's gentle fist combined with a hint of hit-and-run tactics. Kakumiai bared his fangs and went to bite Kakashi with the latter of ducking from his attack and giving Kakumiai a hard kick right to his chin. That when Kakumiai stopped the fight, nice hit. I'm impressed how far you've improved in just a few weeks. Kakashi was pretty proud of himself at the moment, but asked with a hint of curiosity in his voice, well the Sharingan is helping a lot, but how much stronger do I have to get to before you think Dokibi will let me start trying to attempt at Sage Mode? Kakumiai wasn't sure. Well, he said he wants to begin it in about a month, so I'm guessing he'll just give you a bunch of stuff to training exercises until then. Sorry man. Kakashi groaned, I heard this guy was a hard ass, but just how many things could we have left to train with? I mean I've got 2 incredibly powerful bloodlines for crying out loud. Isn't that enough? Kakumiai deadpanned, are you a sage? Kakashi shook his head, well no, but... Kakumiai didn't let him finish, then Dokibi doesn't care. He won't be lenient with you until you're a sage. Kakashi knew he wasn't going to be able to change his friend's answer, especially with reasons he gave him. So instead he just let out one last sigh before saying, alright, let's go get some more training done then. If I can't just get into Sage Mode right off the bat, I might as well be devoting my time training at least. Conan decided she'd seen enough and to get some training of her own done, especially since she really hasn't had a chance to polish her own skills. I'm going to go and practice some new moves with my paper ninjutsu, good luck sweetie. Kakashi has always been intrigued in her paper ninjutsu since it contained one of the most unique things he'd ever seen before in his life, but he'd never actually been able to learn much from it. He'd wanted to see her at full power for a change, but they'd never been in a situation that forced it to happen. They'd always had a few practice fights here and there during one of their sparring sessions, but Kakashi had never even come close to seeing what her full potential held. It was kind of a catch-22 when you thought about it. If he ever got to see what she was like at her full strength, then it meant they came across a life-or-death situation, which he prayed to Kami wouldn't be happening anytime soon. Kakashi watched her leave while still being clouded with the same thoughts running through his head. Once he shook himself back to reality, he turned to Kakumiai and went to do some more training. Naruto raised his hands for what he hoped would be his last attempt to split the waterfall and finally triumph over the challenge which has been causing so much irritation a long time. After his chat with Kurama yesterday, his chakra control has started to stabilize yet again. Hinata had gasped and almost fainted at learning about the conversation he'd had with the massive beast, but what made her even more frightened was finding out that Naruto and the Nine Tails had agreed to work together during his training. Despite the course of actions that took place, she couldn't complain how great the results had been. The very first attempt Naruto and Kurama cooperated, he must have improved twice as fast as compared to what he was like before. Now he could last almost the whole 30 seconds and the water was much calmer when splitting it. After just a few more times he almost have it. However, it had been getting late for their personal deadline and Hinata said that it would be best if Naruto gave Kurama a little more time to recover his chakra properly anyways. Which brings them right where they are now, trying to finish this exercise once and for all. After taking a slow deep breath, Naruto channeled his chakra, steadily focusing the flow of it in his hands, though the waterfall and begun to split down the middle. It was perfectly curved and looked exactly as it should. Hinata started to mentally count down in her head, 30, 29, 28. Naruto was focusing as hard as he could to keep this going and was willing to push harder if he must in order to finally cut the waterfall. He had everything else done, so all he needed to do now was maintain it. Hinata kept counting, 15, 14, 13. Naruto had to keep himself calm. He knew that if he got too nervous, it would screw up the whole thing and all would have been for naught. Hinata yelled to him, "That's the 30 Naruto-kun, you did it." Naruto stopped and ran over to Hinata, "Seriously, I finally did it?" Hinata was certain about it, it was definitely 30 seconds, you are ready for the next step. Actually, what is the next step? You've never told me. Naruto had figured that part out a while back. I just have to go straight into trying to apply the change in chakra form with the change in chakra nature. I'm done waiting for all this stuff and I just want to move on already. Hinata could understand that. That sounds about right. How tough do you think that's gonna be? Naruto didn't want to waste too much time about it. It's definitely not gonna be easy. Even my dad wasn't able to succeed in completing it. Hinata's eyes widened at hearing that. Wait, you mean even the fourth Hokage couldn't complete it? But he's the one who created the Rasengan in the first place. This really wasn't helping Naruto's confidence at all. True, but I completed the change in chakra form for it in just a week. I think if I put my mind to it I'll be able to apply the change in chakra nature to it as well. Hinata had to admit, her boyfriend had never failed at anything she knew of, and if he did, he never gave up, so how do you combine the two? Naruto was to explain what his solution was when he suddenly realized something. I have actually no idea. Hinata was flabbergasted, she really didn't know how to respond about that. Well, is there anyone you can ask any sort of assistance for? Naruto was shaking his head side to side and said, I don't think so, and the only one who able to utilize the Rasengan, besides my father, was Jiraiya, so I think I'm stuck. Hinata wasn't sure where to start next, so what are we gonna do? Naruto was really starting to sound like a broken record. I have no idea. Hinata only had one last option. Do you want to go and ask Pa about this? He seems like the only real option we've got left at the moment. Naruto started, I have no. Actually, yeah, let's do that. Not really sure what advice he's gonna be able to give about it, but at least it's a start. Hinata followed him as they went to go and search for Pa. It really baffled her how brilliant Naruto could be 1 second and then the next second be absolutely clueless. See you in the next one.